Hey there, it's Jim Nicehunger. I'm here with Harry, and what we're going to talk about here is how to position the mini monopoly tools for his audience. And so there, we already started a little bit of the conversation, and so I'm going to jump in and kind of like go backwards to cover a couple of things that we already covered. But first, welcome, Harry. Glad to have you here.
Thank you, Jim. Yeah, this is
Uh,
fantastic. Happy
All
to be
right,
here. Thanks for your
great.
time. Truly
Yeah,
appreciate
you
it.
bet. You bet. No, no, this is going to be fun. I can already tell just from how we started. And so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into where Harry and I were just going because he was telling me about the people that he wants to help most and can help most are people who are kind of in Harry and I's age range who have expertise, value to bring to the world, yet they don't have the audiences, the profitability tools, the mechanisms to make money from that expertise in today's online world. And so, what I want to do is back up for just a minute to look at this offer creation piece that I shared it in the group. And so, you guys, if you haven't seen that yet, you can see that. But I'm going to back up and just point out some things where Harry and I are starting to talk about offer creation and what we're looking at with his audience. And so, first is that I did have this circle around required resources. And so Harry's audience has these specific resources that they bring to the table of expertise in some field, whatever it is, could be accounting, could be selling real estate, whatever it is, law, whatever it is, that they have this legitimate expertise that they've developed over their lifetimes, has been part of their careers, that sort of thing. And then there are already all of these online tools that these people are hearing about. Oh, okay, put your stuff on YouTube, do this, create Substack, whatever. Do all of these things to put your expertise online so you can start getting paid for your expertise. So that's resources that they bring to the table. But then, and these people, in my opinion, they sound like they are the kind of people who own their problems and who are have done well through life, and they want to keep doing well. They've had great careers. Some have even transitioned to business ownership, but they own their problems. They're not like looking for some miracle cure or somebody to save them. But then here are the hidden dilemmas. So I'm going to switch slides here for a second. The two main hidden dilemmas that I think about is that, okay, just because you put your stuff on YouTube or Substack doesn't mean that you have a hungry crowd. So, how do we create a hungry crowd? And what kind of messages are required to cut through all the clutter on YouTube, wherever it is? And so, here, this is with the mini monopoly tool set creating a hungry crowd. So much of that is within My Peeps, which Harry offers both. But just want to show that is back to the hidden dilemma here. The hidden dilemma of they need audience, and what to say. And so they aren't so hidden in that these people are experts in what they do. They're really good. They know exactly what the heck it is that they're doing, but how to say it in a way that connects with other people so they can sell coaching, consulting. Maybe they start some business they're offering some sort of info products, whatever it is. And so tell me how you're tracking so far with this, Harry. Is this all making sense?
Yeah, making complete sense. Yeah, really good. I
Okay,
love this part. Fantastic.
perfect. Perfect. And then, so then the way I see it, Harry, you and them have this shared vision as well of that this challenge of, hey, they want to be paid well for expertise they've accumulated for decades. And so you want to help them do that. And you want to help them do it in a way where they have to invest little now and have this huge upside. Like, how do we get them the biggest upside possible? And it's unknown in the sense that it's different for every person. And so every person has to kind of like work this out on their own, which is part of you even offering the tools for them to really be able to get some jump starts on these things. And then the two things I can tell you about the offers that you have, both My Peeps and the Mini Monopoly tools, both of them are created from elevated perspectives of Travis Ago, Travis Spiegel. They're built in, proven systems in there, and this is part of a bigger, unwavering mission. Like, to me, all of us in Sego's groups, the best I can tell is that we want to be the chooser. We want to serve no master. That's the exact same thing our people want as well. And so we're in the same mission that we're on with them. And so when we bring them tools that support that mission, it just makes it so much easier. So
Yeah, no, I'm picking up what you're throwing down, as the kids say. Yeah, no, brilliant.
okay, cool.
Good.
Cool, because yeah, it felt important since I shared this thing about offers the other day to really get into some specifics here. Like, no, this is really like it can sound good as some ideas, but no, how's it really happening? And so being able to deconstruct, like, no, this is really what we're doing to the best degree possible. Because if we take care of all of these things, which it can look like a lot if we're not used to it, but as we're doing it, like the more we design these things in, the easier we make our lives, which is what I'm looking to do here. So anyway, with that, then let's jump over to the tools, Harry, and look specifically like we said that we were going to talk specifically about first selling the mini monopoly tools to this group of folks. And so let's just jump in with the Hell Island GPS and just start seeing where it goes, what kind of ideas we have. And so I'm going to do my best to remember to keep putting brackets on here so
That's
that
brilliant.
I
Yeah, I
have
saw
it
you there
marked
with
in
the
the tool so I know
memory.
I can come back.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
no, it's
so
really
my ideal. Oh no, my best customers. I like just for me it's even better. Just using best instead of ideal. It feels like it's just an important word. Customers are um people in let's see, let's go. Their 40s, 50s, 60s who have valuable expertise in their fields, expertise they've gathered hands on for decades. They want to make great money in today's mostly online environment with that expertise. There are so many ways to get their expertise online, but they need to have a hungry crowd and compelling messages to make most of that expertise. Let's just give that a shot, and then we'll see kind of what we get here, and just take it from there.
Yeah. Chew on that for a bit.
Yeah. All right. So breaking down the pain points for experience. Yep. Professionals trying to monetize online. Okay. They feel stuck in the traditional work model while watching younger, less experienced people succeed online. Yeah, and to me, there's even like more in there of anybody can claim anything. They can say, "Oh, I can do this, I can do that," and people are doing it all the time. And so that's a big part of what they're competing with is just these loud voices and that thing. So you get pain points, see their industries rapidly shifting online, but feel left behind, feel trapped in outdated business model, watch less qualified experts. Okay, yeah, building successful online businesses, valuable knowledge isn't reaching the people who need it most. Yeah, and then yeah, tech and digital overwhelm. Those are probably pretty big issues as well, right? I'm going to do my best, Harry, to just let you read and not read through everything.
Yeah, yeah, no problem.
Sometimes I get
I'll just
carried
take a
away
little bit.
with reading everything out loud.
Totally. Yeah, and I think the tech is a big thing with my
Hmm.
experience serving this market.
Yeah.
They do have a
Hmm.
challenge with the tech.
Yeah. Yeah. And so here's part of even the thing is that this is kind of like fits into that hidden dilemma category is that they feel it's just the tech when it's like, okay, doesn't matter what kind of tech you have if you don't have a compelling message for somebody who wants
Yeah.
a result that you can help them get.
Hmm.
So it's like there's the tech, there's the reality of the tech challenges, and then there's also the tech decoy. Like I was working with this client a while back, and she was primarily offline, and she made this comment that told me she didn't get it. She said, "All I need to do is just start putting my stuff online. Then I'm sure I'll be making seven figures." I'm like, if you're just saying that, come
Yeah,
on, you have no clue
yeah,
what you're talking about here.
absolutely.
Hmm. All right, then identity and emotional impact. Okay, a lot of identity issues around confidence, relevancy, feeling old, self-worth issues. Been there with all of that myself. All right. And so then here, painful experiences. Okay. Income plateaus. Mhm. Okay. Yeah, all of those seem pretty relevant there to me. How do you think about those, Harry?
Yeah, that seems
Okay.
pretty
Cool.
bang
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Yep, that's what it seems like to me as well. Lost in the maze of online platform form choices. Hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah. Feeling overwhelmed by the terms. Yeah. So much contradictory advice. Hmm. And marketing challenges. I know all those as well intimately. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so starting to get a sense of a potential angle here, Harry. It is
Mhm.
just that the mm, 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 this starting point of connecting with real people, whereas like um, all of these things that are listed on this stuff, unless they're connecting with real people, then they're chasing 500 rabbits and not catching anything. And so to me, I could see powerful positioning around kind of like, okay, it's kind of like the same thing that Travis is drumming into us of like, okay, you got to start with an audience. You have to acquire people. And so I could see like you really possibly positioning around that, like of it, have to like the mini monopoly tools are the starting point to find out who really cares about what you offer. And so, step one, we got to find out who cares. And that's only done through conversation. And it's not about our stuff, it's about what they're fed up with and what ways they want out. So then, so I can see that as like a potential starting point. How's that sound to you as a possible avenue to go down here?
Yeah, that's really interesting. Using the tools as a as a GPS system,
Right, right.
as a
Hmm.
as a as a as an indicator as to who out there would even care about that, and getting a pointer to that
Hmm.
type of crowd and the language that they're using, so that you know where to find that audience.
Hmm.
Because I think a lot of overwhelm for folks is, where do I start? Essentially, like, how do I even figure all this out? How do I even start to translate what I know into, and who would care? I think this software would give them clear indications and roadmap and road signs as to they're on the right path. And then, okay, yeah, that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense. So that they can leave as we go through it with a really solid plan of being able to say, okay, these are my people, this is what resonates with them, these are the type of things that I'm going to put out there, so that my messaging is concurrent and coherent and congruent with the hungry crowd and what
Yes,
I have to
yeah,
offer.
yeah. And so, to me, this hits on a couple of things that are super important. So one is that the mini monopoly is in the sequence that it's in for a reason. It doesn't start out with be the only one to whatever. Like, no, 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 no. Find out what people are fed up with, and
Mhm.
then give them a different and desirable way out. And then, okay, then now, how are you be the only one that can give them that?
Yeah.
And if you don't mind, Harry, I'm going to jump into just another piece. I don't remember. I don't know if you remember seeing this from Travis or not, but so one of the times that he talked in Ronin about the 60, 30, 10.
Mhm.
And so I'm just going to give it here. So 60% of the value of or our ability to sell is back to, like, you can use the word hungry crowd like I did, but it's
Mhm.
connection with real people. And he probably, like, he was using this as like to partner, like, okay, your success in partnering first will be connection with their crowd. Like, do people have a connection with their crowd? And so this is equally true for us. Like, we have to have a connection with the crowd. And so that's same thing that I just showed on that little triangle. Hungry crowd, but connection, not just only that there's a hungry crowd out there. And the 30% offer. And so then another way of saying that is the different and desirable way out. And this is fed up point. So like we already have it designed into the mini monopoly process and the tools. And then,
Join those, link them up, yeah, with the
Yeah.
Very big.
And then 10% is copy, words, what you say. Like, and so this is um, only you. Whereas the problem is almost everything people are being taught online is that they're putting 90% of their effort into the words and everything and getting very little result. And so you can be the person for this crowd of people to say, okay, everybody's got it all backwards. That's why you're going in too many circles. And this is like if you're focused on the words and chasing all the tech issues, then you never create this connection with people that is the foundation of selling any sort of expertise. We think it's our expertise. We think it's what's amazing about us. But no, it's this connection with the people. And so I'm going to give you the tools to make that connection. Verify that that connection is true by having people respond to you. That way, you don't waste your time up here building sandcastles in the sky that never come to fruition. And the great thing is when you show up in this position, Harry, they've already tried all of this stuff, a lot of them. And so you're coming in saying, hey, I know why you've been having all these problems because you've been trying too damn hard to position yourself and your expertise. How about let's start with who do you want to connect with? What are their fed up points that we can connect with them on? Because when you do that, they won't be able to take their eyes off you. So just that, like that bit of positioning into this group of people, especially the ones who are like we're speaking to their fed up points, right? Like
Totally.
um yeah. So here's the thing that another point I was thinking about this morning that I just wanted to also make. I think it's going to be helpful for you. I know it's helpful for me to think about it this way. I think it's going to be helpful for anybody who watches. Is that the biggest fed up point in most niches or markets is people are fed up because the other shit ain't working. And so they're fed up with the other people who've been misguiding them, all of that stuff. So there's the fed up points with their problem, but they're fed up with how people are trying to give them solutions. And so we get to do both, right? So this is, we get to be the antidote to them being fed up with all the bullshit out there by being somebody who guides them better. And then we also get to give them the antidote, the different and desirable way out. And so it's kind of both. And we don't need to brag about how different we are or anything. We just connect on the pain of like, you're probably tired of being misguided and missteered by 937 30-year-olds, 20-year-olds who tell you that, oh, well, I'll fix the tech for you and your nightmares will be over. Like it's those fed up points of the alternatives that a lot of people miss.
Yeah. Excellent. Very good.
So, so yeah. Anyway, I was kind of like I was fired up about this one this morning. Actually, almost I wrote some stuff that I didn't want to post because it was like I was fired up and doing a lot of cursing about just like okay, you got to know how fed up people are with the other solutions, and so if you show up like them, they're gonna think you're like them instead of show up as the antidote to all the bullshit. So anyway, all right. There's a little bit of, but that positioning. So you're just for a second here. So then you're helping them focus on the area that matters. You're going to be the first one doing that when they're burned out on all this crap. And so that in itself is going to be powerful. Plus you being now 50s early 50s, that they're more likely to listen to you as well because they've heard a bunch of crap from the younger people. So anyway, switching back over to the tool here. So, all right. So they're wasting hours trying to figure out technology, money on courses, investing in wrong platforms. So this is for sure, these ones are addressing what they're fed up with in the market. Some of them, what they're fed up with in the market, and then how they're fed up with the results that they're not getting. And the big hit to their status. Man, so even though I do pretty well selling sometimes, there are times when I'm just like, what the hell has this world passed me by? And so, like, I think this is something that's pretty much recurring for people in our age range. And I just turned 60 and I'm just like, holy shit, am I too old? Am I too old? So I think this is going on with your folks too, Harry.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Hmm. And then yeah, personal life impact. Yep. Oh man, that I can relate to all of those.
Yeah, number three for me is I've heard it time and time again.
Uh-huh.
Um, been embarrassed when
Yep.
family members ask about their online presence. I was like, well,
Yep.
don't tell me
Yep.
about that.
Hmm.
The wife's saying, don't even talk to me about them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. See, and this is where, so many of these things are where then you can come in and say, like, okay, here's one of the dangers is that we're embarrassed about stuff that doesn't matter. And we don't realize it because there's that like that little emotional hook of like, but I'm used to looking professional and shouldn't I have this and that? And the other thing, when the connection with our audience isn't how professional we are, it's how connected we are to what they're fed up with, which is why we have this set of tools. So it's like really keep positioning back to that. And of course, financial concerns. Hmm. And so here's what I'm just going to ask the tool for the moment. Like all of that is great, and I agree. Let's really dig into how fed up they are with uh, um, people who give them surface level solutions that sounded good at the time, but end up being money pits for stuff that doesn't matter and doesn't connect them with the people they really want to help. We'll see what it gives us with just that little bit of refinement. Oh, okay. So here's a thing that the tool isn't even saying yet, but it's just that there's this overwhelm of addition where all of this stuff that they're adding because everybody has additive solutions where you have subtractive solutions. No, stop doing this, stop doing that, stop doing these other things, and let's focus on just these areas because it starts with the connection to your people. And so that's without that, it's like so you like you were talking about the overall GPS, like the messaging GPS, like the only way that we know if we're on track or off track is by responses from people. And so these tools that we use are specifically designed to connect and get responses so we know we're on track or off track. Because we can spend 6 months or a year thinking we're perfecting our messages, our offers, our website, all of this stuff. But it's not a GPS if it's not getting feedback from the market.
Yeah, it's great. I thought the illustration I've used this previously of what what AI essentially does and what it's doing is really shortens the curve. Um, we always, we eat chicken for those of us who eat chicken,
Yeah. Hmm.
and for generations people have made chicken, and it's turned out pretty good, and we've all eaten
Uh-huh.
chicken. It's great. But then this air fryer thing came along,
Uh-huh.
right? And well, I just pop it in, press a few buttons, and I get a great result. So,
Yeah.
um, so to me, it's like that. It's saying, okay, how can we speed up the like? How can we take this knowledge that AI has, that Chat GPT has, or whatever Claude, and then we just go out there and we stick it in the air fryer and we hit those few buttons and we see what we've got, um, so that we can have that connection, that direction, and then so what we're putting out is is baked, right? It's already gone through a process, and
Yeah.
then when the crowd react to that, and we make that connection, we make that connection far quicker than we would had we just not had it, you know. And that's what I like about it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So here's another super important and relevant point is that generic AI, here's the problem, is that it sounds good, but it's inside of this framework, right? So it sounds good, but it's focused up here. This is
But
why
where
you can't use
yeah.
generic AI
Mhm.
or trust what other people are doing. We have really honed these tools to focus here because here's
Mhm.
where we build the foundation of a business that we're of an expertise business. And so that other point of yeah, why is this different? Why can't I just start typing stuff into Chat GPT
Yeah.
and Claude? Because
Hmm.
it's all of that information, all the information in AI. I would say I don't
Would
know.
be focused on the 10%.
Right. So it's like 90% of AI is up here based
Hmm.
on the
Yeah, from my
erroneous
yeah,
focus. It's
exactly.
the
Yeah.
erroneous focus of people. And so we intentionally design the tools to
Hmm.
be in line with what really works instead
Yeah.
of
I love
what's
that. I love
popular.
that. I love that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, and that's the differentiation
Yeah.
between just someone saying, I can just do this in I've got an account, a free account for Chat GPT or whatever.
Right.
But this is where the mini monopoly comes in. I think I mentioned before, it's the difference between, for me, obviously I'm sold on it already,
Yeah.
but the difference is between a generalized cookbook. I said, oh, I can get a
Mhm.
recipe book, and then one done by, someone who's, five-star Michelin chef, right? What's
Right.
in there is based on, um, his recipes and exactly how to do it correctly. So for me, that's the mini monopoly is, the five-star Michelin chef saying, okay, this is what's important. This is the 60%, this is the 30%, this is the 10% of what
Right.
you need, not a generic
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, so it's yeah, it's built on because I personally I don't know anybody who's better at connection with their people than Travis Sago. And
Oh,
we've
yeah.
done our best to duplicate what we can from how he does things with the tools because we understand, okay, yes, pre-selling. So this is what we're trying to do instead of yeah, just turning people off because we're telling them how great we are.
Hmm. Yeah,
Hmm.
wonderful. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. Cool. And so then, all right, so switching back over here. Yep. So let's see. So yep, empty promises, wasted investment. And unfortunately, this is kind of like a you got to experience it first. Unfortunately, it's really hard to convince people that they're dreaming at first. Like everybody's got to spend some money, get some, chase a few fantasies. And so
Yeah, get a
what
couple
we
of
want to do is,
battle scars. Yeah.
yep.
Hmm.
And so speak to the people who've already chased the fantasies. Like
Hmm.
people who are chasing fantasies, let them chase them, let them come to their own conclusions, and really speak to people who've already faced the already chased the fantasies. And
Hmm.
then real world impact, sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I this one just reminds me of one time I had my aunt where like just seeing the quotes around business investments of my aunt said something about, oh, how's your business going? And she put it
Ah,
in
yeah, very
quotes. I'm
good.
just like, oh, lady, don't talk to me about this.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
uh, so then yeah,
Very
so
clever.
so this is like this is definitely real stuff. Uh,
I like the graveyard of what was it? Just
oh
a
yeah.
little bit. I thought that was a really good picture,
Oh yeah.
mind picture.
Yeah.
Graveyard of digital dreams, where digital
Yeah.
dreams, or where
Oh
your dreams
yeah.
go to die. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. So there's
yeah,
some great metaphors in here to be able
yeah,
to
yeah.
use for sure. Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm happy with what we have here because really, like, we can speak to different fed up points, and I like the fed up points of people being burned out who are already in the market. I don't
Mm,
like people who are like they're fed up with another thing and they're brand new into this thing because
hmm.
everybody's trying to prey on the newbies and there's just too much competition. Whereas I
Yeah,
like like addressing markets from the perspective of, okay, who's tired of all the stuff that
yeah.
didn't work out?
It's got the battle scars. Yeah,
Yep, exactly. Yep. An emotional toll of like, yeah, all of these things. Feeling stupid, lack of confidence, embarrassment. Yep. And so yeah, there's so many just connection points right here for actually selling the mini monopoly tools to this
mm.
crowd. hmm And then solution circus pain list. Okay, that's
Course selector.
interesting.
Love that.
Solution
Platform business.
circus is also a good little metaphor. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Uh-huh. hmm
This is what I love about this because if you were to sit down, and think, okay, what could I come up with? Just Harry here with a piece of paper,
Yep.
or even going out with your crowd and what have you. Um, just these metaphors, would you come up with them? Doubtful, the graveyard of bro broken dreams, right, on your credit card.
Right.
There's the course
Exactly.
collectors, the solution circus, the platform prisoner. It really kind of uses that language that uh, it just really clicks. I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of stuff around it.
And so I've considered myself pretty good with language, but for me, it's just like I probably struggle a lot more than people would think with. It's not as much for me, hasn't been as much blank page syndrome. Like I can usually get something on the page,
Mhm.
but as far as the quality, like it's just such an immediate and rapid upgrade for me. And then for people who like and these metaphors, like you said, like I wasn't thinking about metaphors like this. And so for people who also are just like frustrated with the blank page, like this is what helps actually why people want these tools because we're never going to run out of I got it. What do I say next? Like
Mhm.
there are kind of like I was thinking about it like three recurring questions. I was thinking like so there's what am I going to eat? When do I have to wash myself again so that I don't smell too bad? What am
Yeah.
I going to say next? Like those problems, we never escape those.
Yeah. Very good.
And so, yeah, so great metaphors here, implementation impossibilities. And so can even say like why those things that sound so good are impossible to implement because you're not starting with the foundation. You're building a castle in the sky. They can't be implemented because there's no foundation for them. Yeah. So marketing misery. Wow. These are really good.
Very good. These are mine, guys. Okay, keep your hands
Yeah.
off.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I saw one up the way just there. It was like a price with like with other kids.
Sorry, it cut out for a minute there, Harry. I didn't hear the
Oh,
full thing.
sorry.
Yep. No problem.
No, I was saying there's one up there which says discover that they're all-in-one solutions doesn't play nice with other tools.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a great metaphor.
Exactly.
Great,
Hmm.
great jump
Hmm.
off point
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
things.
And one of the things I'll just go on another little rant that I have here. Just this has been like this big eye-opening thing for me is that unless I'm actually selling to people and getting sales, and it doesn't have to be sales, it can be conversations. But if I'm not interacting with people, I'm lying to myself about how much I know or what they
Right.
want
Yeah.
or that sort
Hmm.
of thing. I'm just like, ugh, it's painful to think about how long that I've done that. And to me, this is like once again, just part of this whole thing is like, oh, we supposedly have these big all-in-one solutions. And hey, if we're not talking with people and they're not responding, do we have anything? Maybe not yet.
Hmm. Hmm. Very good.
All right. So then, yeah, then we're marketing maze, misery, time sink, torment, strategy. Oh, yeah. And okay, all of these things that we're talking about here to me point back to the base of the pyramid. Like, okay, like all of these things are symptoms that we could chase and then keep getting nowhere and then chase the next symptom and chase the next symptom and the next symptom when the fundamental problem is building that connection with what other people care about, which is their fed up points.
Hmm.
Hmm. And yet, reality check, revelations, breaking point pains. Holy cow, this is like amazing. All right,
Hmm.
good. So this is going to be your stuff that we keep for you. And so all right, here's a thought. We'll see what you think about this. Is I'm thinking like, okay, now with everything that it's presented here, um, what I would like to ask the tool is like, okay, so I would say, so we see all of these as symptoms of not having a connection and conversation with your audience. These are all symptoms. And so help me start framing as many of these as possible to point to that solution of using the tools to connect with your audience.
Hmm.
That be interesting. Just see what it does. Okay.
Yeah. No, really good.
Yeah. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, please use Travis Sago's triangle of insight method. Here's the basics. Side one, speak to the symptom. Side two, share a relevant metaphor. Side three, give the deeper wisdom or insight. We'll see what it does. I haven't
Hmm.
used the tools to try the triangle of insight, but I think it's gonna, with just those simple instructions, we'll see what it does.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. Okay. Multiple triangles of insight. Okay. Empty room syndrome. Creating content, products, programs, but launched to crickets. Webinar room sits empty. The post gets no engagement. No, the offers go unsold. It's like throwing a dinner party without sending invitations. Okay. Interesting. Insight. Building in isolation is a recipe for irrelevance. Okay. I like that. That's a fun one.
Hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Translation gap. Other stuff is valuable. Clients aren't getting it. Messaging falls flat. Expertise gets lost in translation. The value isn't clear to others. This could be more symptomatic. This is like, to me, it's kind of a conceptual. Whereas I'd want to know like the finger pointy
Point the finger
systems
at it.
that,
Yeah.
yep. Mm-hmm. And then, but then, like a master chef, try to share recipes in a language they don't speak. Ingredients are perfect, technique is flawless, but the instructions make no sense. So I like that metaphor.
Hmm.
Um, and then, yep, expert blindness is real. Yes. Okay. So this, I'm glad that it even brought this up because I haven't thought about this recently, but these tools are an antidote to expert blindness. To me, that's like one of the most powerful things that we're doing with the tools. I didn't haven't really thought about it that way, but totally makes sense to me. And then the solution rush. Um, keep creating new offerings based on what people need. Each launch feels more desperate than the last. Market seems indifferent to the solutions. Once again, can be more finger pointy, but it's pointing in the right direction. Doctor who writes prescriptions without examining the patient. Yep, yeah. Oh, my favorite little metaphor that I've been thinking about recently of just the way people do things. It's just like, especially social media posting. It's like somebody's waiting in the examination room. The
Hmm.
doctor opens the door, walks in from the hallway with a prescription already written, and just hands it to him, turns around and walks out. Like that's like it's like there's no conversation, no understanding, and so yeah, I like just seeing that particular metaphor pop up again because that's like it can feel like, oh, but this is my expertise and I already know what these people need and all of this stuff. Doesn't matter if even if we're right, and most times we're not going to be because the person's situation is unique, but it's how the person feels of
Hmm.
how that patient would feel if a doctor walks in and just, here you go get that filled. No, screw you, man.
Yeah. I remember a doctor I went to just in line with that, that I mean there was flu in the town and everyone, schools are nearly empty because of the flu.
Mhm.
And so I had a chest infection and it was kind of like flu based. Well, I thought it was flu based. But when I went, she's a great doctor. When I went in, she didn't go, I didn't say, hey, the wife had it, the kids had it, this is it. She went, well, it could be that. And I just loved the way she said, it could be that, but let's see.
Hmm.
Right? But, and turns out it basically it was a chest infection because I'd had this. But the fact that she went, well, it could be that, but let's see. And when she said, okay, you got to do this and this, I felt listened to. I felt like, well, she didn't just jump to say, oh, yeah, all the kids are out of school. And yeah, I hear what you're saying. I mean, you saw them all in the waiting room, and, that's what it is here. Boom, take that or
Yeah.
do this. It was like, well, it could be, so let's see. Um, she
Yeah.
just took
See,
that extra
so
time to
yeah.
look at
So
it.
I love the point that you're illustrating there of how simple it is.
Hmm.
Instead of like we've been taught, be the expert, no,
Yeah,
all of this stuff that doesn't create connection with people. It doesn't
no,
do the things that the people who are trying to do that, who want us to do it too, so that they feel like they're doing the right thing. It doesn't do
yeah,
that. But you just showed how simple it is. Hmm, could be that. Whereas the person is telling us even like
hmm
we're not even telling them that they're like it sounds like you
that's right.
told
They're
them,
coming on a
okay,
call or yeah, at a
yep,
chat and
eh,
saying, hey, it's going to be this. Could be.
yep, yep. So yeah, so she listened to you. Like, could be that. Let's see. And so then the an important part of just like what we're talking about here of the it could be that let's see. An important part is having some nice questions of
Mm-hmm.
just let's just say, for example, a person comes to you like, oh yeah, no, I need to get my stuff on YouTube because there's so many people on YouTube and that's really where my audience is and then could be. Let's see. I have a quick question for you. And so I'm just brainstorming this on the fly.
Hmm.
Like a
Hmm.
question could be then, so where are people seeing your content right now? Oh, they're seeing it here, they're seeing it there, whatever. Because usually that's that
Hmm.
platform chasing thing, right?
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so, yep,
Platform prisoner. Hmm.
yep, exactly. So yep, they're seeing it on LinkedIn or whatever. Okay, okay, good. And so, how are they responding? Well, nobody's responding. That's why I need to get to YouTube. So you mean to tell me? So are you telling me that none of your ideal people are on LinkedIn, but they're on YouTube? And just like that, like, okay, just slowing them down and just like questioning the logic because people get an idea in their head so quickly and say, well, how about if we just start where you're already reaching your people and seeing if we can get them to respond first? Would
Hmm.
that maybe be a better answer? I've got some tools to help you with that.
Exactly.
So so it's like really once again, it's like when people have resources, and so I just like using this as an example, as like somebody's built a LinkedIn audience. So great, I've built a LinkedIn audience, but they're not responding. So I need to go to YouTube. And so
Yeah.
we throw out hard earned, legitimate resources because
Hmm.
of this same base thing that we've talked about, the lack of connection. Like,
Correct.
hey, why aren't people responding? Is it because LinkedIn sucks or there's not, your people don't use LinkedIn? Probably not.
Hmm. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, because
okay.
they're using words on LinkedIn or whatever.
Right, exactly.
There's no connection, but it could very well be that their ideal audience, people
Right.
that they're meant to serve, so to speak, are there, but they're focusing so much on that 10%, or 90% is focused on what should only be the 10%, but
Yeah.
they're not
I mean,
focused on that connection,
yeah,
making
and
that
that's
connection.
what I mean, everything I hardly ever am on LinkedIn, but the few times that I have been, but I'm on Facebook a lot and just 95% of what people are talking about is how awesome they are or how stupid other people are and not speaking to like, okay, what are legitimate fed up points that people have that can build the connections for us?
Mhm. Lovely.
All right. So then, yep. So the platform paralysis triangle, spread thin across multiple platforms. And so, yeah, it's funny. Like we're talking about this one, but we can be much more finger pointy here. And then, yeah, trying to attend five parties, never staying long enough to have a real conversation at any of them. Interesting. Okay, metaphor. And yep. And mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Presence without conversation. I would say presence without connection is
Hmm.
just digital noise. So yeah, so I like that one. Authority disconnect. I won't go through and read all these. All
Yeah.
just get them sent all over to you. But then the value vacuum, content carousel, trust gap, market mystery. Okay, I wasn't sure how many it would give us, and I've
I
never
was
even
gonna
asked
do,
it to do.
yeah.
I've never asked it to do triangle of insight before. So once again, like we've
It's nice minded. Yeah.
unlocked a new superpower of the tools that we
Mm.
didn't even know was there. So
Yeah.
that is pretty cool. And
That's
so
great. Yeah.
yeah, so we've been on here for a bit plus our chat before.
90
So
minutes. Yeah. Well, about 70 minutes. Yeah.
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 So what I'm gonna do is just I'll just go back to my main screen and so of course I'm gonna share all of this stuff with you, Harry, so that you have it. But then yeah, so tell me kind of like where you're at with this little discovery group of
No, I
discoveries
love
you
it.
did.
Well, a couple of things come to mind. One, that I love the context you gave to it at the beginning. A good reminder of what it is that we're trying to do here and why it is that we're doing it this way, right? Um, again, the misfocus or the backwards focus of what people generally do, and then of course where we need to be focused and how the tool can help us to do that. We've dived in there. I think we've got some really, really good points from it. I'd be interested to see now how we can take that through the cascade, right? Through the all the way through to how to make content out of this, the desirable, different and desirable way out, then the content, etc. I can't remember all the tools
Uh,
right offhand, but
yeah,
how we can take one bucket, pour it into the other bucket, and then refine it through to spitting out
yeah,
content that
hmm
connects.
yeah. So I'm going to tell you kind of a way that I'm thinking about this, and this is not to say that all of the tools aren't helpful, but my current approach is
Hmm.
I'm thinking of like speed to test. How fast can we test messages? And so just for right now, okay, so we have this massive list of fed up points. We have some triangle of insights that we could grab any of those that you wanted to. And my inclination is to take a take an educated guess to start with, just to test messages as quickly as possible. And so grab some of this and go directly into the compelling content creator. And so
Hmm.
what I would do is like I would grab one of these fed up points or something that maybe it's even like a little more contextualized.
Hmm.
Like, okay, I want to talk about this issue with this audience of people who like they have legitimate expertise from real world experience. And then here's this set of problems that they have. So using that as question number one for the compelling content creator. What's the different and desirable way out? So right now, they're trying to figure out how to best talk about themselves and their offers so that people pay attention. I have a set of tools. My different and desirable way out is I have tools that write better content for them that build connection with their ideal people. And then so that's different and desirable way out. Then it's like, what do you want them to do right now? Oh, I want them to watch this demo that I have of how to talk, how these tools help you talk about your expertise, for example, because the one that I did with Demir, like to me, that is a good example for you just to show people like, here, check this out. Here is a way that you get to the truth of talking about your expertise. And so it's like then you're just connecting on their real world fed up things. Hey, instead of figuring out what to say yourself, these tools will do it for you. Watch this example. So to me, that's like I'm looking to go, yeah, speed to test it as quickly as possible. And then finding out with a couple of angles like that of either reaching out to people, whatever, like, okay, how do they respond? Whoa, holy crap, somebody already bought the tools from me, like without a lot of effort here. And then just
Mhm.
getting those first sales under our belts, kind of like help us.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, I'll just kind of like tell a thing that with this process of Jason and I selling the tools inside of the group,
Mhm.
we didn't know what the hell was going to happen. We both felt pretty good about them,
Yeah,
and I thought, okay, I got a pretty good connection with people. I bet we can sell 20 or 30 of them. And so like, okay, let's give it a try. And so then just when we started getting some sales, that was like this immediate validation. And we didn't do a bunch of planning or anything. It's just like, okay, let's test it out. Oh, part of it even started with one of the webinars I did with the sample with Ed, where like,
Mhm.
whoa, holy crap, this is amazing, and people were responding to that. I'm like, okay, well, shit, let's sell some of this stuff, and so it just shows like even like you could show as a licensee that little example of like, here, just
Mhm.
check this one out. This is a pretty short one here, so you can see like what happened. Like this guy understood his market just as well through 5 minutes as it was taking him weeks before.
Yeah,
Yeah, so just like those things. So for me, the demonstration of these things like is what so sells. And of
yeah,
course,
definitely.
we have to have some connection with people. And so my advice to any licensees would be as quick and easy as possible of using Hell Island GPS to um, get some good symptoms for whoever your people are, and then just take a shot at just jumping to the compelling content creator with the different and desirable way out is better messaging without figuring it all out yourself.
Yeah,
like like just keeping it simple and then showing people demos like, hey, here's a 20-minute demo of just one of the tools. Check it out. This one gives people an x-ray into the minds of their audience. And most people have no clue. So watch that and just see like, would it help you if you knew exactly what your ideal clients were thinking before you created a message?
yeah,
Like it's hard
yeah,
to say that, yeah, if nobody's responding, it's hard to say, oh, I already know what my people are thinking. Okay, well,
mhm.
if nobody's responding, I'd have to question that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's brilliant.
Yeah, so that's
I
my
really enjoyed
my
it.
thought about it is just kind of following to a large degree the same path that we did of just like starting as simple as possible and maybe surprising yourself with getting some sales.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Mhm.
I loved it. This has been a phenomenal session. I've really, really enjoyed it.
Okay,
Um,
great. Yeah,
I'm not
thanks
saying that
for
to end
agreeing
it.
to.
I'm just saying that I really appreciate it. But I appreciate that, of course. Uh, time is limited on your side. This has been a massive give on your side in terms of your time. And of course, I want anybody who watches this, of course, to get the most out of it too. So
Yeah, Yeah, for sure, and just like uh, so I'm getting a lot of value out of it too, Harry. Just so you know, like on these
Good.
sessions, one of the things I do is like, okay, let me just try some stuff that I haven't tried just to see what
Yeah.
happens. So I get to be surprised with you guys of like, whoa, holy crap, I didn't know we
Wow,
could do that.
came out. Yeah, yeah. And I think it's a genius thing to kind of do on a live kind of setting like this because you got someone to bounce it off, right? You go, what do you think of this? What do
Yeah,
you think of that? And putting stuff in, and it's coming out. I think it's great. Yeah,
yeah,
really, really
yeah,
clever.
and then it's so different, like. So another part, just to be honest and completely transparent, I wouldn't be surprised if this helps sell some more people into buying licensing because they see like, whoa, holy crap, of course I want
Yeah,
licensing because this can be easy to sell.
yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
so
Yeah.
I'm also aware that hey, it could be part of my marketing. So I'm happy with all of it and
Mm.
just I feel loose about the whole thing too. I think that's like another thing that if I have a tip for anybody is just like do some stuff that feels like fun for you
Yes,
in the
yes.
context of whatever you're offering.
Yeah.
And there's a good chance people will buy it just because it feels fun instead of stiff and forced, or at least they'll pay attention and see you as a person.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Totally. Absolutely. Very
cool.
good.
All right. Well,
Oh,
thanks a lot, Harry. This has been a lot of fun.
yeah, for me too. I don't know if you want to stop the recording. I just have a couple of questions unrelated, if that's okay, and then we can
Sure.
sign
Yeah.
off completely and have
Yeah. Yeah.
food.